Transport Minister Barbara Creecy is currently briefing the media on the state of South Africa's airport infrastructure and how ready key airports are for the upcoming G20 Leaders Summit over the weekend. Let's listen in.
South Africa's of entry are ready to host the G20 Leaders Summit. Our aviation sector has completed all critical preparations to meet the rigorous standards expected for this historic event. Last year, it's exactly a year ago, on the 19th of November, the Airports Company of South Africa CEO was tasked to coordinate all G20 aviation matters, and through the collaborative work of the Aviation Forum, which included the Department of Transport, ATNS, SACA, South African Airways, the security agencies in a joint substructure of NAPJoints called the Venue Operations Center VOC, we have ensured the seamless integration and coordination of all our airports nationwide. As of the 9th of December 2024, the G20 Aviation Forum began coordinating aviation activities in support of all of the participating government departments within the G20 and also for all of the G20 working groups. And we have successfully supported the coordination and facilitation of G20 delegates across the following ACSA and private airports: OR Tambo International, King Shaka International, Cape Town International, David Stuurman International Airport, Polokwane International Airport, Kruger and Mpumalanga International Airport, and of course Skukuza Airport. The government of South Africa has recognized and approved 3 airports and 1 fixed-based operator as the main airports to facilitate the heads of state and G20 dignitaries in preparation for the Leaders Summit. And as of May 2025, the G20 Aviation Forum comprised OR Tambo, which is a port of entry for the Leaders Summit, Fireblade Terminal, which is a fixed-based operator facilitating the heads of state entry for the Leaders Summit, Lanseria International Airport as a port of entry for the Leaders Summit, Waterkloof Air Base as a port of entry for the Leaders Summit, and obviously in all the work that these airports do, they are supported by the Civil Aviation Authority, the Air Traffic Navigation Services, South African Airways, which is the official airline carrier for the G20, and our Department of Transport. On the 25th of October this year, we had our first dry run, which demonstrated the readiness of all the ports of entry, and it set a benchmark for a high standard of operational excellence for this important Leaders Summit. The command center and the venue operating centers at OR Tambo International Airport, Fireblade Terminal, Lanseria International Airport and Waterkloof Air Base are now fully operational. These centers maintain uninterrupted operations, conducting briefings at 7 a.m. every morning and 1300 hours every day, with the flexibility to convene if additional meetings are needed. The command center takes responsibility for coordinating all functions across the ports of entry and designated aircraft parking airports, ensuring a continuous and responsive operational presence. Now, I think it's very important as we prepare for all of the leaders who will be arriving tomorrow to clarify that we are expecting to have a continuous and stable power supply here at OR Tambo International. Obviously, our main income of supply is from the Ekurhuleni municipality through Isando. But should power be lost to OR Tambo, we do have backup generators that will take a few seconds to kick in, and they will provide uninterrupted power supply, ensuring that critical terminal, airside, Western Precinct, and cargo activities continue without compromise. Our contingency systems respond exactly as designed, maintaining safety and operational continuity throughout. And I want to assure you that these events have further strengthened the airport's state of readiness. Systems have been reviewed, assessed, and reinforced for operational resilience. We can assure you that everything is also ready at Waterkloof Air Base, at Fireblade, and of course at Lanseria. Now, with regard to air traffic navigation, the airport's company and the air traffic navigation services have executed a comprehensive readiness process, and they've activated real-time coordination across the 4 airports, supported by our Command and Control Center for seamless traffic flow and rapid tactical adjustments. Temporary airspace restrictions will apply on the 22nd and the 23rd of November to ensure secure operations without disrupting commercial flights. And I think it's important to say at this time that while we are expecting all of the heads of state to enter the country from tomorrow and to leave from Sunday, we are not expecting disruptions in commercial flights, and scheduled commercial flights have been integrated into our overall plan to ensure that ordinary citizens who might want to travel at this time will not be inconvenienced. From the point of view of jet fuel, we can assure you that we have stockpiled necessary fuel that will service all of the planes that would be coming in accompanying the heads of state. And we have fuel reserves of 54 million litres in place. Correct, 54 million litres, yeah, in place. There are additional staff, and what you would understand is that normally in the December period we do have increased traffic, and so what we have done is we have brought all of the additional staff that we would normally use in the holiday season, we have brought them in so that they should all be ready to service this particular activity. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would want to pause. I can say to you that we're really pleased that this afternoon we got an updated weather report from the South African Weather Services to indicate that we are expecting fine weather over the course of the next few days, and the rain seems to have left us and moved to the Eastern Cape and also KwaZulu-Natal, so we're not expecting that there should be major flight disruptions between now and Sunday. At this point, let me pause, and we can then take questions.
Okay. Thank you so much, Minister. As usual, we'll take first sets of questions through, and then we'll allow the panel to respond to your questions, and with the discussion with the Minister, we'll indicate who takes the questions. So with a show of hands, you can just introduce yourself and the media outlet you represent. Let's see the hand there. You can just introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Balenke Mthethwa for SABC News. Now, this question is directed to ATNS. Now, in the past, we've heard of challenges where flights have failed to take off or land on time because of a technical error with regards to the system. With traffic volumes expected to rise due to the heads of state arriving as of tomorrow, can we give any assurances that that will not happen and there are contingency measures to ensure that, you know, everyone lands on schedule? And
thank you. That would be for you, Mr. Mahanan. Second hand, can I say a hand, ENCA?
Good afternoon, my name is Bafiki Lamaran from ENCA. My question also is to air traffic and navigation services. We know that the entity has been on the news recently over the suspension of over some procedures key to ensuring that there is air safety. What's happening at this point in time? And also to the Minister, on our way coming through here, we saw there are some people there who are there at the traffic lights because of the traffic lights are not functional at this point. What are you sure that everything's going to go smooth from your side come this weekend?
Okay, the last one. SABC, another bite. Okay, we'll allow you.
This question is directed to ACSA. Now, yesterday or on Monday, we heard about the road closures for security measures. Talk us through the security measures and what went through the motive, or rather the thought process around these security measures.
Thank you so much. We'll allow the Minister just to respond to ENCA, and then Mr. Maholola will then come, and then CEO, Mr. Umubofu.
If you can give me details of that traffic light, I will deal with the mayor right after this briefing and tell him his traffic light is on international media. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thank you. From ATNS perspective, we can confirm that all procedures are working as they should, and the systems, we've got them in place, and we are expecting no glitches whatsoever. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The road closures basically have been on practice run from the 25th of October, and we've been working together with the various traffic departments, including RTMC, the provincial traffic, and the local Metro Police. We've been simulating traffic movements around the airport in order to gauge the normal traffic on those days, because our traffic also fluctuates from day to day. Friday afternoons tend to be particularly problematic around Bululis. Most of you would know this. And so the simulations have really been about working out alternative routes, but redirecting traffic in those areas so as to manage the traffic flow and manage what will really be the movement of the special delegations of heads of states as they arrive. We have basically planned for very efficient movements of passengers as well who are not heads of state, and they are basically being managed in a controlled area. The delegates for G20 are being managed and distributed to special transport arrangements that have been made for pickup. But we've also looked at the various land transport sites. We're working together with Gautrain, we're working together with the e-hailers and level 2. So all of those areas have particular operational plans in order to direct people and traffic safely but efficiently throughout those areas. What has also been important for us is to anticipate what challenges we may face. So from a security perspective, we have also looked at reinforcing what is really a standard operating procedure at Airports Company that is informed by the fact that we are a national key point in order to direct potentially, we've heard suggestions that there might be protests of one sort or another. We're quite clear about the potential for South African initiated action, labor protests. We have a straightforward process for directing people to our Speaker's Corner. Our Speaker's Corner is a designated area on the other side of the airport. It's regulated space where protesters are led very kindly by the security forces to protest, hand over memoranda, and make sure they can be guided away. We also anticipate that we may have protests that come from other countries upon the arrival of presidents of those countries. And again, the same SOP would apply of utilizing our Speaker's Corner. And that actually is very harshly enforced because we are a national key point, and how movement happens in an airport like ours is very much controlled. The other security measures that have been applied in order to just monitor the platform, secure the environment, direct traffic, but more importantly also ensure safe passage and efficient passage of the various convoys that are well timed with the heads of states as they arrive, and also the guarded convoys of the delegates of G20 who will also be accompanied out of the airport environment. The build-up period for us is now. We build up until the last person has arrived, and then we also have another peak when they are starting to depart after the 25th as they start leaving the environment. So we have two very detailed operational plans for arrivals and for departures, and enabling safe passage of both the delegates but also the heads of state, which is our primary responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CEO. Okay, the next set. Alex. That's one. Any other hand? It seems Lancera is dodging the bullet.
Okay, we'll take it. Thank you for the opportunity. It's Chakwane Tlabi from ACSA. This one is from Minister. I just want to know your view and your feeling with regard to unqualified points in the intersections within the...
All right, let's come out of that. That was South Africa's airports essentially are ready for the G20 Leaders Summit. Transport Minister Barbara Creecy and ACSA CEO there, Mpumi Mpofu, have been briefing the media on the state of readiness of key airports for the upcoming Leaders Summit over the weekend. Now, Creecy says the airports that have been identified to facilitate leaders are OR Tambo International Airport, Fireblade, where heads of state will be received, Lanseria International Airport, as well as Waterkloof Air Base. Now, the first batch of leaders, as we understand, will be arriving tomorrow ahead of that summit on a Saturday and Sunday. Creecy has allayed fears about jet fuel, saying that there are fuel reserves in place, 54 million litres in place, I think she said. You will recall, of course, in a statement recently, ACSA saying that jet fuel and all other requirements have been met for these airports. This follows that fuel issue at Cape Town International Airport.